Appeals courts almost never reverse a trial judge's or jury's fact findings. Indeed, appeals courts rarely even review non-legal issues. So if a trial judge accepts a witness's testimony, appeals courts usually refrain from any second guessing. Trial judges are given great leeway in how they control court proceedings, including the use of translators. For example, consider the Hmong, a people from Southeast Asia. After the Vietnam War, many Hmong moved to the United States, with the largest cluster, tens of thousands of people, settling in St. Paul, Minnesota. Naturally, some court cases have involved people who mainly or exclusively speak Hmong, not English. The following Minnesota case concerned a sexual assault charge among Hmong immigrants.
All rise. The Honorable Judge D. Marsder, District Court for Ramsey County, presiding.
The next hearing on the docket, State v. New Chu Her, concerns the translation of certain foreign words used by a non-English speaking criminal complainant. To properly translate legal documents or courtroom testimony from one nation's language to another's, translators must know not just the two languages involved, but also all relevant legal terminology. Cultural knowledge also is crucial, especially for fundamental matters such as family, religion, and sexuality. In this case, a recent Hmong immigrant, an 18-year-old woman in Minneapolis, reported to police that a Hmong employment counselor sexually assaulted her.
Yes, Your Honor, your summary is precisely on point. The defendant lured the victim under the false pretext of a job interview to a motel. He then assaulted her.
Objection, Your Honor. Conclusory, preposterous, and just plain wrong. In fact, this woman consented to the sexual activity.
Okay, settle down. The alleged victim spoke to the police and then testified in court in her native language, Hmong. Now, because the Hmong language had no written form until the past half-century, and the Hmong language has far fewer words than in English, many Hmong words have more than one meaning. So the parties dispute what the women's statements really mean in English. The alleged victim, while talking about what happened, used three important Hmong words, each of which has a different translation depending on whether your interpretation is pro-defendant or pro-prosecution. Order in the court, order in the court, order in the court now. That's better. Now, counselors, let's make sure this court knows your position on three different Hmong words used by the alleged victim. Word number one is spelled M-O-S, but pronounced ma.
In the context used, the word ma means to wrestle.
The victim did not say that she wrestled with the defendant. The word she used means to be raped.
That's quite a difference. I've been to a few wrestling matches, but I've never seen anything like that. Frankly, I don't think the referees would allow that.
Your Honor?
Oh, yes. The second disputed Hmong word is spelled Q-U-A-V, but pronounced kua. Kua.
Ah, yes. Kua is the S word, Your Honor. 4 letters to be precise. S, H, I.
Shh. We get it.
The alleged victim was nothing more than a foul-mouthed hussy. The foul word she used, like kua, made it clear that the alleged victim was not the sweet, innocent 18-year-old the prosecutor portrayed her to be. In fact, she said these words in her supposedly best behavior. In a courtroom, Your Honor.
Well, even assuming you're correct, I've heard far worse in court, often not from witnesses, but from lawyers.
Wow. Even like S, H, I.
Shh. Again? Yes, the S word.
Just like the alleged victim, full of gutter language.
The S word my ass, you son of a...
You're what?
Son of a what?
See what I mean about foul-mouthed lawyers?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's just that this case really gets to me. This is what the victim essentially said and did during that testimony, using the Hmong word kua. Poo-poo.
Now that's a load of kua.
All right, simmer down now, okay? Or I'll hold you both in contempt. Now let's look at the third Hmong phrase, spelled T-X-I-A-G, but pronounced sia. What is the meaning of the Hmong word sia?
It's the F word, Your Honor. The alleged victim said that her and the defendant had been effing. If you know what I mean.
I get it. You know, counselor, you have a seat, so use it, now.
Sexual penetration and violation, that's the word that the victim used. This sia was no roll in the hay, no romp, no freaky deaky, no bim bang boink, no horizontal row, no...
Okay, we get the picture. Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. Defender, I will now consider both your motions with all of the attention they deserve.
Oh, no!
You may now anxiously await my ruling.
And so the judge pondered her decision. And the end result was that Minnesota's appeals courts ended up denying the appeals. This failure in the criminal context, with the burden of proof so strong in the defendant's favor, shows how much harder it is to be the loser of a civil case trying to contest what happened at trial. Simply put, in State versus Nu Chu Her, no judge would second-guess the two courtroom translators. They had apparently given the jury the essential gist in English of what the woman had said in Hmong. And the defendant, Nu Chu Her, a speaker of both English and Hmong, had failed to object to the translations at trial, even though he was specifically given the opportunity.
I have made my decision. I find for the prosecution!
Case closed. The end. And let's hear it for the players. Thank you very much, players. We have, as the prosecutor, Brent Radcliffe. As the public defender, we have Hernan Campero. And as the incredible Judge D. Marsder, we have Courtney Smith. Let's hear it for all three incredible volunteers.